watching Amazing Fire TV. Amazing Fire TV. Impacting the world for Christ.
Good morning, Houston. My name is Akbog Bemre. I'm a music executive and the CEO of Epic Media. Here with me today, I have a fine gentleman contesting for the City of Houston Council. He's a great guy. I'm going to be interviewing him exclusively for his forthcoming position. His name is Obes Nwabara. Nice to meet you, Obes.
Great to meet you too. Thanks for doing this morning.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about who is Obes Nwabara?
Absolutely. So, as you know, my name is Obes. I go by Obes. And you go to vote in November, you'll see Obes on the ballot. I'm originally from Delaware. I moved to Houston in 2009, but both of my parents are from Nigeria, both from Abia State.
Great.
So my dad came over during the Biafran War in the late 60s. He graduated from middle school, high school, college here, went back to Nigeria, met my mom. They both ran away to America together, very romantic.
Wow.
And then they've been here since the mid-'80s.
Wow.
And
So
they
looked from Nigeria.
yeah, basically, yeah. And they had me and my two younger brothers, and we've been here ever since.
Oh, that's nice. How come Houston? How did you get to Houston?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was a sophomore in college at the University of Delaware, my dad got a job in Houston. And the whole rest of my family moved. I thought at the time that I would just stay in Delaware. So I did another semester at University of Delaware. And I missed my family so much, after that last semester, I flew down and moved to Houston with everybody else in December 2009. And I've been here in Houston since then. So I graduated from university. I transferred to University of Houston. I graduated from there in 2012. I got my first job in Houston. And with the exception of 2 mistaken years in Dallas, I've been in Houston ever since.
So you were born in Delaware?
Yeah.
Then you moved to Houston?
Yes.
So where are your parents originally from in Nigeria?
So I said they're from Abia State. My dad is from Wahia, and my mom is
Wahia?
from... Yeah.
Okay.
My mom is from Ohafia.
Have you been to Nigeria before?
Yeah, I've been a few times. I was there most recently last February.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So tell us more a little bit about your the current office you're running for, the city council. What's it all about?
Yeah. So city council, really to answer your question, city council does the people's business in the city of Houston, right? So they manage, city contracts. They monitor the different city departments. They vote on the mayor's agenda. So Houston has what's called a strong mayor system. That means that the mayor is the only person that can set the agenda items that city council votes on. That may change this November. There's a ballot initiative that would change the way the agenda is set.
The way things are done, yeah.
But the way things are done right now, the mayor sets the agenda, and city council can vote up or down on what the mayor sets on the agenda. So city council does that. They also determine things like which food vendors are in the airport. So when you go to both Hobby and Bush Intercontinental Airport, the food choice that you have are in part decided by city council. So city council has a lot of power in the city of Houston. And I'm running for Houston City Council at-large position 2. So there are 11 district seats, which are geographically based. I think we are in District J right now. And then there are 5 at-large seats, which cover the entire city council district map. So I'm running of those 5, I'm running for position number 2.
So when you talk about the Houston City Council, does it cover the whole of Houston, Harris County? Is Sugarland part of the Houston City? Can you give us like some areas that are part of the Houston Council area?
Absolutely. So it doesn't cover. When you look at a map of the city of Houston, right, you'll see there's like little pockets in the whole thing that are sort of carved out. It's like areas like the Villages, areas like West University, Sugarland, Pearland. Those parts are actually not Houston, right?
Okay.
Bel Air is another example of an area that seems like it would be part of Houston, but it's not. But then you look at areas like Kingwood. You look at parts of Cypress. You look at
like Southwest Houston.
Yeah, like Southwest Houston is like A-Leaf is part of it, right? So the way that you can know for sure whether you can vote in the city council or city government elections, which includes things like mayor and city controller, is to go online and actually Google to see if your address is included in the city council map.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tell us more a little bit about your political antecedents, your previous positions so far, and what inspired you to want to contest for this office.
Yeah, for sure. So some stuff that I've done in the past politically, it really all started in 2018. So I lived in Dallas in 2018, and during that time, you may remember Beto O'Rourke ran for Senate in 2018.
Yeah.
So during that time, I volunteered for his campaign as both a block walk and phone bank captain. Unfortunately lost, but I think during that showed me what was possible in terms of getting politically engaged and active. So after that, a friend of mine was running for city council in District B, and she asked me to be her campaign treasurer, and I said absolutely. So I became the campaign treasurer for her. There were 16 people that ran. We finished 8th, which is pretty good considering she had never run for anything before. And I'd never been a treasurer before, so it was brand new for all of us. We finished 8th out of 16. That's pretty good. Then the next year, I ran for the first time myself. I ran for Harris County Department of Education Board Trustee, which sounds like it oversees all of the independent school districts in the Houston area. It doesn't. What it does is they're the ones that decide things like special education programs, adult education programs, early childhood programs like Head Start. They do those programs. And they are also one of the only entities in the state that can levy a tax themselves. So it's actually, despite the fact that nobody knows what it is, it's a very powerful position.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah. So that went to a special election with just precinct chairs. It's roughly 400 people in Harris County. And I think something like 350 people showed up to vote that day. And I lost by 20 votes.
Wow.
Yeah. It was devastating.
So what should we expect? Now you're running for the office. What should we expect when you win? Because we know you're going to win. You have the capacity, and we see a very vibrant young man. And from your manifesto, we know you can do something. Tell us more about what we should expect once you're in the office.
Yes, I mean, I think what people can expect is for me to execute my campaign platform, which you can learn more about at obes42.com. But my campaign platform is very simple. We need to work to reduce traffic, number one. We have some of the worst traffic in America here in Houston. I think we're the only city where the majority of our greenhouse gas emissions actually come from our cars as we're sitting in traffic. So it's not just the aggravation of being stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Mm-hmm. We're also polluting the environment while we do that. So that's number one. Number two, we need to improve our water infrastructure. So I live next to the Galleria right now. I've been there a little less than 2 years. And we've had, I think, 5 or 6 water outages in that time.
Wow.
And that's not even including, the citywide boil water notices where it's not safe to drink the water. I'm talking about you go to turn on the faucet and nothing comes out. That's a major problem, especially since we're the 4th and soon to be 3rd largest city in America. We shouldn't have that issue here in Houston.
True.
And the last thing, we need to invest in the future of the city. Now, when I talk about that, I do mean things like early childhood education, because I'm sure you've seen the studies that talk about how your kindergarten experience really sets a table for the rest of your life in terms of success. But the other thing is we need to make sure that people have a path to success, whether they go to college or not. It's great for people to go to college, right? I went to the University of Houston myself. But if people don't go to college, they still need to feel like they can make a good living, they can take care of their families. And the way that we do that is by getting people back into trades like electrical work, plumbing, construction, all those sorts of things. And we do that by, investing in existing programs like apprenticeship programs,
like a skill acquisition program.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But also by working with Harris County Department of Education, HCC, Lone Star to create more programs to produce the next generation of trades workers here in Houston.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Tell us about your family background. These days, families is like the basic, the primary part of one's life. Can you tell us a bit about your family background? I know you're Nwabara Jr. Can you tell us a bit about, family?
Yeah, for sure. So
you're married as well?
I'm not. Much to my parents' chagrin, I'm not married. I would be dating this year, but I'm running for office, so I don't have time to do all of that as I'd like to. But so yeah, I'm Obes Jr., right? Obes Senior, for those of you who are of a certain age from Abia, you may remember Dr. Samuel Nwankwo, or Professor Nwabara, University of Nigeria in Nsukka. So I'm his grandson, for those of you who remember him. So he came over to the United States. He got his bachelor's degree, got his graduate degree, went back to Nigeria, became professor, University of Nigeria in Nsukka. My grandmother, his wife, same thing. She became a lecturer at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, when the family first came to the United States in the late 60s. And then on my mother's side, similar thing. My grandfather on my mother's side stowed away on a plane to get his degree at the University of North Carolina, A&T.
Whoa, stowed away on a plane?
Yeah.
Your grandmother?
Grandfather.
Grandfather? Oh.
Yeah. And I've recently learned that my grandmother on my mom's side, her father was a catechist and then became a, I believe, Presbyterian minister after that. And as a result of him being a minister, that she was allowed to go to school at a young age in Nigeria. So a lot of her age mates could not go to school. She was able to.
Yeah.
So it's like all these little things that individually seem like they wouldn't make that much of a difference. When you add it all up, it creates opportunities, right? So those are the type of things that allow me to be here now, is all those little opportunities that we're taking advantage of. And like I want to create those type of opportunities for Houstonians as well. Because when you are, like a well-to-do person, if you have a lot of money, you can create opportunities. People will like beat down your door to give you opportunities when you have money.
Sure.
When you don't have money, you may get one opportunity to change your life, your entire life. If you weren't ready for it, you didn't know it was an opportunity, or you go for it, doesn't work out, that might be it. And you never get that opportunity again to really change your life for the better. I really want to make those type of opportunities like the kind that I had growing up. So that's sort of my parents and their parents, right? I also have two younger brothers, Okechi and Acha. Okechi's actually getting ready to go work at Microsoft. Just finished his MBA at SMU, so congratulations to him. And my youngest brother, he also lives here in Houston, Acha, or Chimeremeze Acha. And he's doing really well. He's a financial analyst.
Oh, that's great. I see there's a big Nigerian community here in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think this is going to affect the Nigerian community in Houston and Nigerians back home? How do you think this current political moves of yours is going to affect them and impact the whole community?
I think it could be really big. Right?
Tell us more.
So before we started recording today, right, I talked to you about how, especially here in Houston, we've had a lot of success, right, in all different fields. We had Akeem Olajuwon, the Dream.
Yeah.
Right, Akeem's probably the greatest Nigerian basketball player who's ever lived, right? And he did that right here in Houston. But even outside of Houston, we have people like Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? He plays for the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA, one of the best players in the world right now. So we're dominating athletics.
Yeah, athletics.
We're dominating. We've got amazing doctors, lawyers, engineers. We're the most educated ethnic group in America right now. And Houston has more Nigerians than any other city in America. So we're doing really well as a community here in Nigeria. But the one thing that we don't have political power.
Political representation.
Right. We have, as far as I'm aware, there's one Nigerian elected official in the entire state of Texas. That's Junior Ezionu over in Grand Prairie.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas area.
I saw his campaign sometime last year.
Yeah, and the reason you saw it, aside from the fact that he ran a great campaign and he won, is that there's not a lot of us out here doing this.
True.
Right? It's something that we need to be taking greater advantage of our numbers, of our sort of economic power. We need to turn that into political power, because that is the way that we really make the changes that we want to see in the places that we live in.
That sounds good. So what kind of change do you think, if more Nigerians get into power, what do you think it's going to mean? What's the picture like if we have more Nigerians being represented politically in different political offices? What do you think is going to be like for the community of Nigerians here? What do you give us an idea, a picture?
So the reason that you want to have political representation is that so when you have a problem, you know someone that you can call on, right? So like I've been very active the last 4 years in ways that I described. So when I have an issue, I know people that I can call, whether it's judges, I could call the mayor if I wanted to. Other elected officials, I can call them and say, hey, I'm having this problem. How can I solve it? And that's how you go about getting things done, is knowing people in the right places. If we have more Nigerians, right, exactly. If we have more Nigerians elected, that means when we have issues like over here, we're on Bissonnet, there's a whole lot of potholes out here.
Yeah, potholes. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah, it's like that's the type of thing that we can actually make the call. We can not just make the phone calls.
You have plans for that to fix that way when you get into power?
Me and the rest of the city government, absolutely. There are plans in motion to try to get those things fixed. It's all about getting the resources and the money to put those things together. But yes, that is part of my plan. Because I hate potholes as much as the rest of the city of Houston does. It destroys your car. I'm tired of it. So I'd like to work to get those things taken care of.
What about Afrobeats? I'm very passionate about music.
Yes, you are.
Afrobeats is really big here in Houston. Davido was just named. I think Mayor just gave Davido a day in Houston.
Yes, that's
July
right.
7. Do you have any plans for Afrobeats? Do you think you're gonna do more to make Afrobeats more relevant here? And because Afrobeats is part of the arts, so do you have any plan for that?
I didn't have any specific plans, but I mean that's part of who we are as Nigerians. Afrobeat with no S was invented by Fela, a Nigerian man. So, I mean, we've created this culture, and because Houston has, the dominant Nigerian population in the United States, I don't see why we shouldn't be doing more with that here. Right? True. That only presents, I talked about creating opportunities. When you have festivals, right, when you have people moving here, those things create jobs, they create opportunities. That's only good for the city of Houston and Nigerians that live in Houston.
So how's the campaign been like so far? Campaign is not easy, we all know,
No, very
political
difficult.
campaign. How's it been? Has it been, stressful, or has it been breezy for you?
Yes, it's been very stressful. but I knew that coming in, right? I've run before. I ran a successful campaign before, so I knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, journey.
As much as you can be before you're actually in it. Campaign's going well. We are about halfway to our fundraising goal. So really, we just need people's help
Is there
to
any
get us over
numbers?
the
Do you have
top.
a target number?
Yeah, we need
Can you
to
talk that on screen?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, so we need to get to about $115,000 raised.
$150,000. Wow.
Yeah. So we need to get to 115. We're at about a little over 50 right now.
Wow, that's some progress.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nigerians are listening. Everybody's listening.
I hope
They
so.
gotta show love,
I hope so. Yeah, in fact, I'll talk directly to you guys right now. If you want to see us get over the hump and win this election this year, the way that you can do that is by going to my website, obesfor2.com. That's OBESFORTWO.com. You'll see an area for you to donate. Please do. Please give what you can, all that you can. But not just yourself. We need to make this a movement of Nigerians in Houston and beyond to make sure that we can get the political representation that we need. Because it's not just about me, right? It starts with winning this election and showing people what's possible within our community. And this will be just the first of many Nigerian elected officials, not just in Houston, but also in the United States. So if you want to be a part of this history that we're making with this campaign, please donate, please spread the word, and you can start that by going again to obesfor2.com. Donate, sign up to volunteer. Let's get this done. Let's change Houston, let's change Texas, and let's change America.
Okay, that was nice. One more last thing. What do you have to say to the people of Houston? Just one very important thing, before we wrap up for the day.
Yeah, I guess what I would say to people of Houston is, this campaign is for real. We're here to do the people's business. I'm not here just on behalf of, Obes and Nwabara. I'm here to represent not just you, Akpo, but I'm here to represent all of the Nigerians in Houston, all of the non-Nigerians in Houston. I'm here to represent Houston. So the things that I don't know everything, right? I have, a platform, things that I want to accomplish as your city council member. But you might have things in your mind you're thinking, well, those things are great, but what about these issues as well? How do we solve these problems? And we're going to get that done collaboratively as a group, right? We're going to work together to get these things done. And I think that's sort of the message I want to leave with people is that I'm here for you. I'm here as your representative. I represent you, or I want to represent you. So, we can get this done together.
All right, thanks, Mr. Obioha Nwabara. Thanks for coming through. we're really looking forward to having you in that seat so you can transform things. We really believe in you. So guys out there, come out for Nwabara, support him, donate. Let's make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
You are now watching Amazing Fire TV.